A new beginning. It wasn't long after I arrived in Saudi Arabia that I saw an immediate difference in the lifestyle of the Muslim people. They were different from the followers of Elijah Muhammad and Minister Louis Farrakhan because they were of all nationalities, colors and languages. I immediately expressed a desire to learn more about this peculiar branch of the religion. I was amazed by the life of Prophet Muhammad and wanted to know more. I asked for books from other brothers who were active in calling people to Islam. I was supplied with all the books I could want. I read every one of them. Then I was given the Holy Quran and I read it completely several times within 4 months. I asked question after question and received satisfactory answers. What attracted me was that the brothers weren't interested in impressing me with their knowledge. If a brother didn't know how to answer a question, he simply said he didn't know and would check with someone who did. The next day he would always bring back the answer. I noticed how humility played a big role in the lives of these mysterious people from the Middle East. I was amazed to see women covering themselves from head to toe. I didn't see any religious hierarchy. No one was competing for a religious position. All this was wonderful, but how did I deal with the thought of abandoning a teaching I had followed since childhood? What about the Bible? I knew there was some truth in it even though it had been changed and revised countless times. Then I was given a video of a debate between Sheikh Ahmed Deedat and Reverend Jimmy Swaggart. After watching the debate, I immediately became a Muslim. I was taken to the office of Sheikh Abdullah bin Abdulaziz bin Baz to officially declare my acceptance of Islam. It was there that I received sound advice on how to prepare myself for the long journey ahead. It was truly a birth from darkness into light. I wondered what my fellow church members would think when they heard that I had embraced Islam. It didn't take long to find out. I returned to the United States on vacation and was severely criticized for my lack of faith. I received many labels, from renegade to reprobate. Some so-called church leaders told people not to even remember me in prayer. Although it sounds strange, I didn't mind one bit. I was so happy that God Almighty had chosen to guide me that nothing else mattered. Now I just wanted to be as dedicated a Muslim as I was a Christian. That, of course, means study. I realized that you can grow as much as you want in Islam. There's no monopoly on knowledge, it's free for everyone who wants the opportunity to learn. I received a set of Sahih Muslim as a gift from my Quran teacher. It was then that I realized the need to learn about the life, sayings and practices of Prophet Muhammad. May God's mercy and blessings be upon him. I read and studied all the hadith collections available in English. I realized that my knowledge of the Bible was an asset that was now very useful when dealing with those who had a Christian background. Life took on a whole new meaning for me. One of the most profound changes in attitude comes as a result of knowing that this life must be spent in preparation for the life to come. It was also a new experience to know that we are rewarded even for our intentions. If you intend to do good, then you are rewarded. It was very different in the church. The attitude was that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. There was no way to win. If you sinned, you had to confess to the pastor, especially if the sin was a big one, like adultery. You were judged strictly by your actions. The present and the future. After an interview for the Al-Madinah newspaper, I was asked about my current activities and plans for the future. At present, my aim is to learn Arabic and to continue studying in order to gain more knowledge about Islam. I am currently engaged in the dawah business and am called upon to give lectures to non-Muslims who have Christian backgrounds. If God Almighty spares my life, I hope to write more on the subject of comparative religion. It is the duty of Muslims all over the world to work to spread knowledge about Islam. As someone who spent a long time as a Bible teacher, I feel a special sense of duty to educate people about the errors, contradictions, and fabricated legends of a book that millions of people believe in. One of the greatest joys is knowing that I don't have to engage in big disputes with Christians, because I was a teacher who taught most of the disputing techniques they use. I also learned how to argue using the Bible to defend Christianity. And at the same time, I know the counter-arguments to every argument that we, as ministers, were forbidden by our leaders to discuss or publicize. It is my plea that God forgive us for all our ignorance and guide us to the path that leads to paradise. All praise is to God. May God praise His last messenger, Prophet Muhammad, his family, companions, and those who follow the true guidance.